Hello, everybody. Hello. This is Gerald Celente, and it's Thursday, February 9th, 2023. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Oh, February 9th. In 10 days, on February 19th, big day in Washington, D.C. Rage against the war machine. That's right. Ron Paul, Kucinich, a whole bunch of great people are going to be there. And I am too, one of the speakers. Honored, deeply honored to be a part of this. World War III has begun. So please go to the website and check it out. If you can't make it, please donate what you can. Rage Against War. It's Rage Against the War Machine. It's rageagainstwar.com. Again, a great lineup of people. Tulsi Gabbard, one after another. We're doing this in a fight for our lives. Because as we detail in the Trends Journal, and you go back to the cover of the magazine 2 days before Russia invaded Ukraine, from Ukraine war, from COVID war to Ukraine war to World War. It's already begun. There it is. Again, we're totally opposed to the Russian invasion. And as we've detailed 100 times, we totally understand why it happened and wrote about it in detail in your Trends Journal as it was happening in the spring of 2014. Featured article by Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, former Assistant Treasury Secretary of Ronald Reagan, on and on and on. So please do what you can to come there. And again, if you can't make it, do what you can to donate. So on to the markets. Well, wasn't a happy day on Wall Street today. The Dow closed down nearly 250 points, and the NASDAQ shed 1%, and the S&P slid nearly 1%. And the reason being is that they're afraid that the Fedsters, the gangster bankster of the top, might raise interest rates more. The economy can't take rising interest rates. Gold took a big hit too. And again, as we said, if interest rates keep going up, the dollar gets stronger, gold is going to go down. But as interest rates go up, the economy is going to go down and gold is going to go up. Go look what happened back at the Panic of '08. Same scenarios playing out now. Again, we don't give financial advice. That's our trend forecast. The world is in chaos. I'm at this for 43 years. I've never seen anything like it. Again, I'll be in Washington, D.C. to speak about peace and freedom, because if we don't have it, we're finished. The maniacs are in charge of our world, and they're destroying life on Earth. But the good news today was that traders initially began the day bidding prices higher. This is according to CNBC. After positive earnings from PepsiCo. Isn't that great? Hey, keep drinking that stuff. It's great for you. Pepsi, Coke. Yeah. Oh, yeah, because you drink Pepsi, Coke, and swallow the shit that the politicians throw out. Keep drinking shit, eating shit, drinking shit, and thinking like shit. And become a shithead. Yeah. So, the worries began late Wednesday night. Well, that's on Coinbase. And they're talking about more and more government controls. And again, they're going to go digital. Cover the Trends Journal way back some 3 years ago. from dirty cash to digital trash. There it is. They're going to go digital. So they know every penny you spent, where you spent it, what you spent it on. So you take more control over who you are, what you're doing, and what you're buying. And they're going to determine everything else. But mostly they get their tax dollars. Yeah, you don't leave that tip to the waiters anymore. No. Not to the bartenders, not to anybody. All digital. U.S. trade gap, by the way, hardly made the news. Hit an all-time high. Almost $1 trillion. The economy's doing just fine. Didn't you listen to bullshit Biden? Yep. Nearly $1 trillion. Here's an article from today's Wall Street Journal. Gauge of services, wage growth ebbs. Ready? New White House figures suggest labor cost pressures are easing in the parts of the economy where the Federal Reserve is most concerned about inflation. Jerome Powell recently analyzing inflation pressures by focusing prices for services other than housing, which include things such as haircuts, dining. Oh, yeah. Isn't that great? The Federal Reserve is most concerned about inflation, that the slave plantation workers of Slavelandia make more money. This is totally disgusting. But hey, take it easy. We don't want them to make any money. The billionaires only got $27 trillion richer in the last 2 years. That's not enough money. And not one of them gives a penny for peace. Not one of them. Hey, Buffett. Hey, Gates. Hey, Bezos. Hey, Musk. How about donating to the rally coming up 10 days from now? Yeah. How about that? No, we're not going to do that. You got to read this thing. Mr. Powell has said wages are the main driver of his underlying inflation measures because labor is usually the biggest cost for services. A fuckface, you scumbags created inflation. With your zero interest rate policy, Powell prick. Hey, and Trump and Biden with the COVID war, dumping in some $6 trillion of fake fucking money? Oh, you forgot about that. Oh, you forgot about the big housing boom. Yeah, when the interest rates were way low, huh? Hey, stay home. Close down your business. Here's some money. And they're blaming it on service workers. Everybody better understand where this is going. Everybody better understand that all the billionaires want are more billions. And all they want are the plantation workers of Slavelandia to make less. This article is a disgrace. Wages are going down, by the way. Yep. The drop is even sharper looking at shorter periods. According to the CEA, such wages were growing at 9.7% annualized in the 3 months ending October 2021, but January growth is slow to 4%. Oh, while Inflation's at 6.5%, but the real inflation number is double that according to John Williams Shadow Stats. But don't worry, fast food reigns supreme as inflation weighs on pricier restaurants. Fast food chains are looking like big winners in the fourth quarter. This is CNBC. And beyond, as fast casual and casual dining restaurants struggle to attract customers. So people are eating more McDonald's. Same stores sales climbed 10.3%. Yep. Taco Bell up 11%. So, I looked up the numbers. It cost almost $9 to eat, the average cost to eat the shit at McDonald's. I shouldn't say shit. I should say junk food. I want to be proper. But as an Italian who cooks, to me, it's shit food. I would never eat it. Stopped eating this stuff when I was 26 years old. Yeah. And now I'm 76. Stopped drinking soda. I can make risotto and feed 4 people the best of the best for what somebody spends at McDonald's with one meal. And then you go to Chipotle, I looked up the average, $11. Maybe $11 it would cost me to feed 4 people with the most delicious risotto. Or make a terrific pasta. And people eat this shit. And they say they're eating this shit because they're low income. Now, low income, you could eat really good if you know how to cook and take time to do it. And it's middle income people eating this crap too. Look at the obesity rates in America, 42%, 70% overweight. Weak holiday sales tanked Mattel's profits. Profits came in down 93% from a year earlier. Holiday sales, jobs went up, created over 500,000 jobs. Who the fuck are you talking to? You fired temporary workers. You see these numbers that are coming on. Holiday sales were weak. That's the strongest time of the year. But we won't talk about that. Just keep swallowing shit. Tune into ABC. No, CNN, NBC, NPR. How about FUCK? Yeah, they're great. What else we got here? Shipping companies feel winds changing. Yep. Maersk said it expects its earnings could plunge nearly 80% this year. This is the biggest shipping firm. Everything's going down. But don't worry. When all else fails, they take you to war. Good news, CVS deal shows growing ties of doctors and insurers. The bigs buying up everything. The doctors aren't free. Nobody is. CVS Health Corp, that's an oxymoron. And you got to be a moron to buy this shit there anyways, I look at it. Agreed to acquire Oak Street Health for $10.6 billion. Every week in your Trends Journal, we have the bigs get bigger. Week after week after week after week after week after week. And that's all they're doing. Apollo eyes Credit Suisse unit. Private equity giant considers buying stake in reorganized investment bank. Isn't that nice? Apollo Global Management. These did not exist when I was a young guy. Remember, hit that subscribe button. Spread the word. Trendsjournal.com. Get it out there. Yahoo to lay off 20% of its staff by year end, beginning this week. Huh. Oh, Disney announced 7,000 employees are getting fired. Oh, the job numbers are going up. And I'm mentioning this about Yahoo because it's bullshit news. The news media hasn't changed. What we're giving you is in-depth socioeconomic and geopolitical trends analysis and trend forecasts that you can't find anywhere else. All they do is report on bullshit and skew it any way that they want. They don't give you the trends, or they have a word like trending. You know, fuck off with this trending shit. Again, I'll put my books, Trend Tracking and Trends 2000, up against anybody in the world. I know a thing or two about trend forecasting, and these people don't know dick about it, and that's why people are going away from them. It's the same old shit, but dumber every day. So go to trendsjournal.com if you want history before it happens. You know, I'm mentioning about the rally that I'll be speaking at that I'm very honored to be a part of, extremely honored, Rage Against the War Machine. So go to that site next 10 days from now. And a buddy of mine emailed me and he said, quote, "I hope you get a lot of supporters for your speech in DC. Great cause, but hard to get people to listen." And I wrote back to him. I said, "You have inspired me to ask all those I know and all those who do listen to my interviews, podcasts, and others that do listen. This is the quote I'm asking those who do listen. What are you, those of you who do listen and do know what is going on, what are you doing to stop the war machine from stealing our money, killing people around the world, and soon to kill us if the Ukraine war continues to escalate at its current rate? What are you doing?" I am so fucking tired of people saying, "You know, I try to convince people, but they don't listen." Get the fuck out of here. I don't give a shit about them. I want the people that know. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing positive to change this? That's all I ask. And I suggest doing something positive every day. And again, one of the ways you can do it is by contributing to this big rally in 10 days. White House says blog post on Nord Stream explosion utterly false. White House on Wednesday dismissed a blog post. That's what they call it, a blog post. They don't say it. By a U.S. investigative journalist, knowing nobody, alleging that the United States was behind explosions of the Nord Stream gas pipeline. Utterly false and complete fiction. Yeah, like Saddam Hussein has weapons of mass destruction ties to Al-Qaeda. That kind of utterly false and complete fiction. Fuckface. Reuters has not corroborated the report published by U.S. investigative journalist Seymour Hersh, which said the attack was carried out last September at the direction of President Joe Biden. This is utterly false fiction, complete fiction, said Adrienne Watson, a spokesperson for the White House National Security Council. Yep. Hersh is a former New York Times and New York reporter who won numerous awards for investigating journalism, including the Vietnam War, the 2004 Abu Ghraib scandal following the U.S. invasion of Iraq. Oh, we forgot all about that. Russia blames U.S. for Nord Stream blasts, threatens consequences. This is Bloomberg News. Russia blamed the United States for explosions that damaged the Nord Stream pipeline and warned of a response to Moscow after the American Investigative Journalist published the article. Quote, our assumption was that U.S. and several NATO allies were involved in this disgusting crime, Deputy Foreign Minister of Russia told reporters in Moscow today, and threatened unspecified, quote, consequences. I guess payback's a bitch, huh? For Washington. Russian President Vladimir Putin, again, this is Bloomberg, had previously accused the U.S. and its allies of organizing the September blast, which, by the way, escalated the war, along with the blowing up of the Crimea Bridge. This is very important. They don't give the rest of it, but I will tell you the rest of it because we reported on it. A Swedish investigation into ruptures of the Nord Stream 1 and 2 pipeline across Baltic Sea to Germany from Russia detected residue of explosives and concluded that, quote, grievous sabotage caused the breakage. This was in November, and they refused to report anything else. They refused to show the more details. But Business Insider, which is really outside of shit anymore, they run these stories on what to do if a nuclear bomb goes off. This is their headline. The claim by a discredited journalist that U.S. secretly blew up Nord Stream pipeline is proving a gift to Putin. That is not journalism. That is scum propaganda, scumbags. You don't read that in the Trends Journal. Oh, and when we do make it like that, we make it clear why we're making it like that. Not selling propaganda, showing the facts that don't back it up, what they're saying. A little breakout point, a gleeful endorsement. And the reason why they're calling Seymour Hersh, discredited is because he came out and he said that the chemical attacks in Syria were not caused by Damascus, which a lot of information, because we were writing about it, fuck faces at Business Insider, that it was the Syrian rebels that did it to try to make it look bad. Oh, and he questions, how dare he questions the claim here. And Vox raised doubts. Oh, Vox. And nothing of another. Vox raised doubts about his infamous 2015 claim that President Barack Obama did not, in fact, mastermind the killing of Osama bin Laden. Oh, the killing of Osama bin Laden, huh? Oh, that they said that he was in Afghanistan and we're going to get him dead or alive, and that's why we went in there for 20 years. That was George Bush. Oh, you didn't kill him in there, did you? Where'd you kill him? It was in another country, wasn't it? Pakistan, was it something? Yeah. Oh, and what did they do with the Osama bin Laden we never saw? The Navy took him and threw him in the ocean. How dare you question that? Like, we can't see the guy that they shot. How dare you question us? It's misinformation when you question them. This is the propaganda going out. I'm telling you, do everything you can to support this event coming up. This is crucial. You can see what they're doing. Rage against the war machine. Ukrainian president claimed he personally refused to implement the deal for peace in Donbass. He made the admissions during an interview with Der Spiegel, published today. Zelensky said he viewed the agreement as concessions on Ukraine's part and never once sought actually to implement them. And we published in the Trends Journal about how Angela Merkel and that other little clown of a nothing little prick, Hollande, over there in France, a little fucking prick. Oh, yeah, that started to bring the French troops back into Mali. Yeah, that one. Yeah. And killed a whole bunch of people. Yeah, that little fuckface. how they said that the Minsk agreement was only put in place so that Ukraine could build its military. Macron says Russia can't win in Ukraine after strike on mall. That was back in June. Today, or yesterday, Macron says Russia cannot win against Ukraine. Ukraine can count on France. Its European partner. Aren't you, all you French people, happy? Oh, yeah. And allies to win the war. Russia cannot and must not win. How much you want to bet? Place your bets. Step right up. Step right up. Let's place the bet. Hey, France. I forgot. Hey, fuckface. Napoleon. Remember that French guy? Yeah. Left Poland with 420,000 troops in 1812 to attack Moscow. Macron, you little fucking scumbag. How many troops did he come back with? How many French troops did he come back with? Oh, and how many fucking people are the French murdered? Remember French Indochina? Oh, you mean when we went into Vietnam and Laos and Cambodia and a load of Africa and killed all those people and stole all their resources? Oh, yeah, that France came back with 10,000 people. 10,000 young men gave their lives for nothing. And you got a little fuckface like him that they quote in the news. A little murderous prick. And this is the propaganda put out. Today's New York Wall Street Journal. Russia sacrifices soldiers for inches. This guy writes the story, this James Morrison, like he was there. Ukraine artillery fire mangled a platoon of Russian soldiers advancing on this besieged city. Were you there to shoot? I can see pictures of this. Guided by the video feed from a serial drone, the guns cut down the first group of 20, and reconnaissance officer recalled. A reconnaissance officer recalled. I got to swallow the shit from somebody on the other side? Why would you want to subscribe to the Trends Journal when you could read horse shit every day? And don't forget to swallow it down with your Pepsi while you're eating a Big Mac. Later that day, in January, another 20 Russian soldiers trudged forward along the same path and managed to dig in a new position in a wood a little closer. Just total fucking propaganda. And then Russia warns of direct clash with the U.S. The U.S., quote, has unleashed a total hybrid war and putting two nuclear nations on the path of direct confrontation, the Russian foreign minister said. There you go. UK weighs sending Kyiv jet fighters. Isn't that great? Oh, you got a 10% inflation rate over there in the UK. And how about throwing an F and a C into it? The people are starving. The economy is crashing. And the fucking UK have killed more people around the world than anybody in modern history. And now you're going to get involved in this? And good news, Japan and Philippines agree to boost military ties. Oh, yeah. Isn't that wonderful? Fight China. I got an email. Somebody said that they're warning, they're running these drills that they're expecting China to invade by the end of the year. And someone told me, I don't know how true it is or not, that someone working at a nuclear power plant in New York, they all had to take tests on what to do and how to treat people after a nuclear explosion. And the person who told me this, it was a close friend, so it wasn't like they heard it from somebody else. And again, they're running these drills and putting out this information, what to do in case of a nuclear attack. And making the story to put it on a bigger scale, as I keep saying, when all else fails, they take it to war. Over 50,000 Sri Lankan workers strike in protest of government's austerity measures. Millions of workers in France joined third mass protest against pension cuts. This was on Wednesday. Tuesday. Total of 2 million protested nationwide. 2 million people in France protested. It is their third week. You can't get 2 million people out in the United States out of 332 million. What, they got 60, 70 million people in France? 80 million maybe? So let's get 2 million down in Washington. 10 days from now, February 19th, Rage Against the War Machine. It's an anti-war rally, Washington, D.C. We're for peace. So please go to rageagainstwar.com, check it out, and do what you can to support it. America goes not abroad in search of monsters to destroy. So John Quincy Adams. And we got a bunch of little fucking monsters running our lives. Little monster, little Lindsey Graham, little Chucky Schumer, little fucking dicks that couldn't fight their way out of a paper bag. Oh, like that arrogant Blumenthal or whatever his name is up in Connecticut over there. Yeah, said he came back from Vietnam. Never went there. Got like 4 draft deferments. And because he was a member of the club, you know, he was in the reserves during the Vietnam War with the same age. He never went overseas. He was in D.C. Anybody, this is really serious. I'm giving you all the facts. Your Trends Journal is packed with them. So remember, hit that subscribe button. Do all you can to spread the word. Let people know about what's going on, what we're doing. We answer to nobody. We take no advertisers. The last edition was over 170 pages. You read what you want. So please consider sharing this video so we can get the word out. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you very much. And you can see the comments from the people that subscribe, how much they love it when you look at the YouTube. And if you're not, go to trendsjournal.com, trendsjournal.com. It's less than $3 a week. And you can get it monthly, and it's 30-day money-back guarantee. If you don't like it, here's your dough back, which we hardly get ever. So thank you very much for tuning in. And remember, don't complain about what other people are listening to and don't do. It's up to you. United we stand, divided we die. Thank you. And we'll see you down in D.C.
The Trends Journal, the best investment you could make, because it's the best investment into your mind, and it can change how you look at the world.
Over the last 30 years, Gerald Celente has been more accurate about predicting what would be happening than anyone else I'm aware of.
The Trends Journal is one of the greatest sources of information, and and it really is. You're predicting these things well ahead of time. I would encourage everyone to go grab the latest copy.
Been a Trends Journal subscriber for 20 years. I just have to commend you. What you guys have put together in your latest Trends Journal, there's nothing like this out there. I mean, the amount of time that someone would have to do research on this to get into this subject matter at this level with all of this powerful information is incredible.
Sir, everything that you predicted about the economy, you were absolutely right. So I have followed you all this time, so please take a look at the Trends Journal.
Last year, you correctly forecast that the Fed would hike rates quite aggressively, correctly said that initially gold and silver would drop as the Fed starts to raise rates to 1.5% and above. When we spoke last, Bitcoin was around 49,000. You said you expect to drop, and if it drops below 30, 35, then it could really drop.
Gerald Celente, the top trends forecaster in the world. Gerald, you had an interesting call back in September of last year. You said gold had bottomed, which is exactly what happened. And here we are, and we're above $1,900.
Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happened at trendsjournal.com.